Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Not a game. We talking about practice.
We thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Besides, a different need, I'm coming. I'm flat out coming.
It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Report. This is not an After Dark episode. Don't adjust your television channels. We are starting without Will today. He is dealing with some technical issues. He will be joining us shortly. I am your temporary host, Seven. I am going to bring in first you know what? Hold on. I am happy. I don't normally get to do this. I'm going to introduce our host. If you will, baby.
If you will, baby. Your man, William B.
William
Morgan's in
Morgan.
this motherfucker. How y'all doing tonight?
What's up, buddy?
I'm never turning this damn Rodecaster Pro 2 off ever fucking again. Oh,
Really?
my
What
God.
happened?
It took forever to come on.
Bro, I don't have that problem with mine.
I do. I'm
That's
never
crazy.
turning this thing off. And I'm calling Road tomorrow to see if I can get another one.
I would, dude. That's insane. I don't have mine takes 5 seconds to boot up. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to call Road tomorrow. But in the meanwhile, we are all here in the building. We got my man Seven, co-host extraordinaire. Now we're going to go ahead and bring on, let me see who I'm going to bring on. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me go ahead and bring in, I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. Bring my man Dan in. Dan, what's up, brother?
That's my host. That's my host, man.
That's my host.
When you don't come on, you talk about him like that. That's my host, man.
Host.
I was lost there for a second.
How y'all doing? How y'all
What's
doing
up, man?
tonight? What's going on, Dan?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right.
You
Hanging in
guys
there.
need to go check
Got
out.
up to a rocky start there without you.
You guys need to go check out You guys need to go check out the episode of Player versus Team from last week. It's on Facebook and YouTube from the Sidelines podcast. My boy Dan was on doing a LeBron versus Jordan debate, and it was
I need
very
to go back and
interesting to
watch
say
that.
the least.
It was like a Royal Rumble, but like only one of the guys in the Royal Rumble gets beat up. I felt like I was getting beat into a gang somehow. No.
Patty Jordan always prevails, Dan.
Just hey, that's slow and steady. It's like the old Bible story, you know.
Like-
Old Jesus Jordan always prevails.
It's like speaking out against Ted Cruz in Texas. Like he's in Mexico. He doesn't know what's
Damn,
going
no, he
on.
didn't take it that far.
Ted,
Damn.
Ted, your wife's a dog. Ted Cruz, your wife's a dog.
Oh man.
She's a dog.
All right, let me go ahead and bring on a few more people first. You all know him. You all love him. He is the other Kansas City Chiefs fan on this podcast. Let me bring my man Ando in. Ando, what's up?
Well, let me tell you something here, Will.
Oh,
I gotta
Lord.
tell you, in 2 hours, this game, WWE 2K24, comes out, dude. And I couldn't just introduce myself in the normal light, brother.
So let me tell you something. Before the 2 hours that the game comes out, your boy here is going to sit here and talk all the good sports that aren't wrestling because wrestling is on a different night. So what are you going to do, Will? What are you going to do, Seven? What are you going to do, Daniel? When Indo Nation goes completely crazy and wild on you, brother, I'm going to be here. Let's talk sports, dude.
Yes. That went better than I thought it was going to.
We
Way
are
better than I thought it was going to.
Absolutely. I am the same with that, man.
Hey,
We're
Ando,
gonna take it.
Ando, I know what you.
Stratosphere.
Hey, Ando, I know what you're gonna do.
What
You
am I
forget I
gonna
can swap this thing.
Oh,
That's what you're gonna do.
did I get that right? No,
No,
I'm going the wrong way.
Everything's reversed.
You need-
I got to remember that.
Ando, you need Jesus.
Bring that picture back up again. Bring that
Yeah,
picture
please,
back up.
please,
Real quick.
please.
That's borderline sack there. That's got borderline sack going on.
That's a solid moose knuckle.
I would back it off. Is that Boosh? That's Boosh, huh?
That's a solid moose knuckle at a minimum, like grade 2, grade 3, maybe. But it's not. She really needs a fucking haircut, and I'm not talking about what's above her shoulders.
That looks like a little bit of that might be like a wizard sleeve kind of situation there,
Oh my gosh.
or a turkey neck.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Well, get rid of the picture.
Oh, I gotta get rid of it. We gotta get rid of it.
Okay,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. What's up,
Y'all
man?
need fucking Jesus. I tell you what, right now.
Yeah, right there you go.
Sir.
Y'all need Jesus.
Hey,
We're
that's
terrible, sir.
that's the
We're
good brother.
terrible.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the good one.
hey,
Bring him back.
Rob,
Switch out.
You said you're the good brother. He
Switch
wants you
out.
back. It's your show. It's your show.
Can we get the talented one?
Oh,
I want to see the talented one. I didn't get to. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. See,
I
Hey,
did
I
everything
don't,
that
I don't know
want
what
on
I'm
this fucking
doing here.
show,
So,
and that's-
what's
Bring
up,
me that
everybody?
chicken.
Yo,
What's
man.
up, man?
You're good.
Peace.
We just
Peace.
started.
yeah. I'm the good brother here. Let's do this.
oh
Peace.
man, bring me the
man.
chicken. That's the motherfucker that has to wear a Travis Kelce jersey as soon as I can fucking get it to him.
Oh yeah, he does.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I'm okay. We've joked about. We haven't joked about this. I've claimed that I'm a Jaguars fan through and through. I'm never going to turn anything down. However, I was being serious to my sister one time. I did tell her that if I were to ever get a Kansas City Chiefs jersey, it's going to be a Travis Kelce jersey, but instead of it saying Kelce on the back, it's going to say Ma Auto.
Yeah, that's
that's
awesome. I like
fair.
that.
That's fair.
So
That's
that's the only way I'd get it, but it would still be pretty cool. So
It's like a joke that like nobody will get really, but then like they will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for,
if
for,
either-
for like a couple
either-
of weeks they'll get it.
either
Right.
they're diehard Chiefs fans and they've seen the commercials for it,
Right.
or they're State Farm fans. Which why the fuck are we too busy watching
I
State
mean,
Farm commercials?
They
I'm
do
an insurance
great
agent.
rates on great interest. It's great interest. It's great rates. Okay, I don't have any insurance personally on anything, but like I'm telling you, they.
Guilty as charged for State Farm. I got it.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
shit.
And last but not least, he is the main contributor to the website that we all know it as Twitter, or we are gonna call X. Let me bring my man Ambrose in. Ambrose, what's up?
And I'm gone for a couple of weeks. All of a sudden, like Seven's your hype man. Ando lost all his muscle mass and still the same.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. Yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
look like the entirety of the 2 weeks off the show you spent homeless.
So I look the same. Okay.
What cup did you use?
Ah, damn.
I bet it was an old Yankees collector's cup that you were using out there.
Oh.
Shaking the
What,
coins
this one?
Shaking, yeah, there it is right
Yeah,
there.
it is,
You're
it
shaking
is,
the coins.
it is.
You
No,
saw
it's
coins
a,
and it doesn't
national,
shake
it's a
it.
Nationals collector's cup. You think a Yankees
Hey,
cup
back,
would wear out
back
this
in my
fast?
day when I had a home, the Yankees had just won a World Series, man.
Okay, yeah, so that's, I mean, god damn. Yeah, thank you,
2009.
Ambrose, for keeping the Yankees collector's cups. You got to keep them in mint condition.
Yeah.
Any national stuff, you can pretty much just. I mean, they're not going to be a team in a couple years, so just
They'll be back to being the
they'll,
Expos.
they'll be the Commanders too.
All right, guys. Damn.
Doing the podcast, honey.
Damn. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We got some NFL news to talk about. Let's get into it.
I know, I was
Alright,
totally
welcome.
kidding. You didn't have to like actually switch out, but
Welcome to this.
I mean, it's
edition-
better.
Welcome to this
There you
segment of. Welcome to this segment of.
I don't make the teams.
Okay, honey.
I don't know why you guys are listening to me. I don't make the
Oh
team.
my god.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about one of our lead stories. It's game over for Ciara's husband in Denver. It's game over. It's game over. The Denver Broncos have announced they're not bringing Russell Wilson back for next season. I wanted to ask you guys, and Seven, I'll start with you. What do you think he ends up, and does he still have the same esteem he once had?
I will answer the second question first. I think the mystique around Ciara's husband, which you better be using his proper name, sir. We have rules on this show. Ciara's husband is going to be a backup quarterback because the mystique has been lost. As far as where he's going to go, I don't know. Yes, there are a couple of teams that will probably kick the tires on having him as their starter. Atlanta might call if they're really that stupid. Based on how they've been doing things, I think it's a possibility. But word is they have a real affinity for Kirk Cousins, so I don't know. But I don't know how much truth there is to that. So I would say if I had to pick a place that might look at him to start, I know the obvious picks are probably going to be the Raiders, which I don't think is going to happen. Arizona might bring him in as a backup to back up Kyler Murray.
I know one thing, the situation has to be dire because they're taking the $85 million dead money cap hit on this whole shebang. Good.
That's brutal.
God.
Denver fans do not expect a playoff run in the next 2 years because they're eating a lot of money. There's no way. There's just, I hate to say it.
There's at least 10 teams. There's at least 10 teams that would take Russell Wilson right now.
I think it's going to be the usual suspects.
If you're Pittsburgh, I mean, you take over Kenny Pickett?
I mean, yeah, I guess
like there's 10 teams to take Russell Wilson right now.
Point, yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Here's where I'm thinking on this one because the allure of Russell Wilson is gone. I think his best days are behind him. I don't think he has a confidence problem just because of the fact that, I mean, he can still play at a high level. The problem is the competition's getting higher and higher, and he's getting older and older. The one thing that would make me laugh more than anything else in anything for football is what if the one team you don't expect to sign him signs him, and that's Seattle, to back up Geno Smith or to provide some form of, hey, you know what? Here you go. Let's bring back this nostalgic act and let's see what he can do if something doesn't work out with Geno Smith. But I don't think they would do that because Geno Smith's already proven for the last 2 years that he's a capable backup or he's a capable starter when you get the right pieces around him. Honestly, if Russell Wilson's going to land anywhere, I kind of think Pittsburgh would be one of the main spots, or maybe Atlanta. But the problem in Atlanta is a dumpster fire. You need a whole bunch of pieces around him, and then do you start Kenny Pickett or do you start Russell Wilson? And how well will Russell Wilson adapt around the pieces in Pittsburgh? I don't see Russell Wilson getting a starting job anywhere. I would only see him being the nostalgic act for Seattle or a backup in one of those two places.
Bro, can you imagine what Russell Wilson's personal life would be like if he was the backup in Seattle? If he went back there, like literally, like his wife would literally be belittling him on a regular basis, like screaming in his face and spitting on him and shit. Like it'd be like an actual issue. Like
not to mention how much did Seattle get to trade him away just to bring him back and keep all of those pieces they've got? That would be the knife in the back for everything going, dude, what the hell did we just do?
I mean, I think the mask came off once the Legion of Boom went away in Seattle.
Yeah.
Because he was bolstered by that defense. I mean, Pete Carroll is a genius at doing that because Leinart wasn't really that good at USC.
No.
That defense and Reggie Bush carried that team.
And Lindell.
And Pete Carroll is a master at camouflaging his quarterback around and putting a great supporting cast around him. I don't see him starting anywhere else. I think he's washed up. I think he'll go to the usual suspects and he'll be a journeyman quarterback. He'll go to Cleveland first. Then he goes to Detroit. He can't go to Denver. He's already been there. Then he's going to be back up in I don't know. He'll go to New England for a minute, and then he's going to end his career. He's going to go west and go to Las Vegas, or he's going to go right and go to the Jets, and he'll have one good game, And people will be like, oh, maybe he's not so bad after all. Then he'll suck after that.
I'm a bit more optimistic about the whole thing, dude, because I think Russell's all about fucking situation, dude. I think he's all about like being comfortable. Obviously, like the whole different thing, like, hey, Broncos country, let's ride. But like he's all about being comfortable in a situation. And I optimistically, the guy's fucking talented, dude. The guy is a talented quarterback. There's definitely flashes of that. Like that's why I'm saying like a third of the league would take him right now as their starter. I think I could probably name you 8 teams right now that would take him as their starter. Okay, so like. And he's at the worst point to be a backup, though. Like that, you don't want famous backups. He's immediately the most famous backup in football.
What's up, Mo?
Right? I mean, he has to be.
What's up, Mo?
Outside of what? Cam coming back? You know what I'm saying? Like outside of Cam coming back, he's the most high-profile backup in the league if he goes anywhere. Like so, he's in the worst position ever, and he's gonna be the highest paid too, probably. I mean, because they're not gonna be able to afford all that contract. So
yeah, it's. I honestly, after Will said. Pittsburgh, I unless they're trading off to get, unless we're gonna make like, I've been thinking about Justin Fields because obviously that's going to be the next domino to fall. I think if Justin Fields doesn't go to Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson does, and Ambrose, you can thumb your nose up at this idea, but I would not be surprised if the Raiders kick the tires on Justin Fields.
Oh no, that's when he's completely washed up and we waste a shit ton of money on him.
For sure. You guys will just wait 3 or 4 years. You guys will wait like 4 or 5 years.
And, we have to wait 3 or 4 years. And then we'll be like, hey, you want like $75 million to throw like one pass for us?
I do want to say this though. If the Steelers do end up getting him, if they do get Russell Wilson, and they still don't get to where they're projected to be, which they play for Super Bowls, they just don't play for playoff runs or 8. And I know Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. Don't get me wrong.
He had one.
But the expectations in Pittsburgh are to win. And with that talent, the only thing they're missing is the quarterback. The defense is solid. The running game is decent. Only thing, tight end is okay. Only thing you're missing is the QB. And if you put Russell Wilson in that spot, you give Mike Tomlin no out. None.
Well, you know, Pittsburgh's got to get used to it because Rome eventually falls. Rome fell in Dallas. Rome fell in San Fran.
New England.
And Pittsburgh, might not be going to a Super Bowl for a while. I mean, he's going to be a starting quarterback next season because there's like a million teams and they don't have enough starting quarterbacks to go around. So mathematically, yes, he's going to start somewhere.
Evan, Saskatchewan Rough Riders, let's ride.
The Edmonton Eskimos.
The question is Russell Wilson going to be good enough to be the starter at the end of a season? That'll be the main question for that.
I mean, what about Carolina?
Carolina's a dumpster fire. I think that would be a bad move to send them there because they need everything.
I don't like that fit.
But in Carolina, here's the thing, though. Carolina, it's schematically, I don't like it. But Carolina would be smart because it does give some allure. So maybe you can get lucky and get a couple of free agents. You'll sell some more tickets. And then you can start to build with somebody that is clearly a placeholder. Nobody's looking at Russell Wilson as a franchise quarterback.
No.
Even if Minnesota or Pittsburgh takes Russell Wilson over drafting a quarterback or trading up and drafting a quarterback, there's whoever they get is a placeholder. So you can have him as the Alex Smith of your next franchise quarterback. They're the placeholder. They're the one that's going to sit there to give him a year to learn before they turn him loose and he retires in the sunset.
Now, who do you take, Wilson or Garoppolo?
I take Russell Wilson.
Wilson, easy.
Yeah.
I take Russell Wilson because I feel like the city's women are safer with Russell Wilson and Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's more concerned about the females than he is about football anyway.
I feel like Garoppolo has a good smoldering brood, though.
He does.
Yeah, but if it comes to winning Super Bowls, Garoppolo's been to 1, he's lost. Russell's been to 2, he's won 1. So I would pick Wilson, even though that was 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, I don't count Super Bowls though, because like Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Not yet, my friend. We're gonna get into that.
Yeah, that's true. All defense there, and again, Russell won his while he had the Legion of Boom.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is it weird that like a quarterback that has like running back talent like with his legs, they're usually really good, right? So they're like the 6'5" guys that like they can run like Josh Allen, stuff like that. Okay.
Right.
Russell Wilson got like the bad end of both sticks. Like he's running back size with like shitty quarterback foot skills. And like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like he got like you need like at least one of them. Like you need like quarterback size with like quarterback foot skills or like running back size. You know what I'm saying? You need one of them. And he's got like the worst part of both of them.
Like Fred Tarkenton was like my height, but he could run.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like he, I feel like Russell moves like Mike Glennon now, and like, but he's like not Mike Glennon size. He doesn't have Mike Glennon's neck. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, Russ has a longer neck. That's really what it is.
I think one thing with Russ that always stands out with me, the minute he said "let Russ cook" or "let me cook," that's a sign of ego. And when that sign of ego came into play, I think that's what everything went down to shit.
The thing that concerns me with Russell Wilson with where he's at now, and this is something that this is something that the
wait a second
that was kind of that was kind of alluded to during the season and some of last year. Russell Wilson's mentality and process is the problem.
Yep.
So if you're a team, and this is why I struggle to think that I believe that it's possible he doesn't start. If you're a team and you were looking at all of the issues that Russell Wilson had, you have a guy like Sean Payton that goes in, that is by all accounts an amazing coach, that can't until the very end of the season, right before he gets sit down, get anything productive out of Russell Wilson. As a team, you have to kind of take pause at that. That matters in this league, I feel like. And so that's where
too long.
Then serves up
hey, whoever did that, by the way, I feel like I can smell it through my camera. Just saying.
That's the part that I struggle with in that, is that Russell Wilson's mentality is a liability to the counter of Kobe's mentality being one of his greatest assets. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. It does.
But like, think about that psychologically, dude. He's in Seattle. He's got all those guys. He's got all those big personalities in that locker room. Pete Carroll, obviously, Richard Sherman, obviously all these guys, right? And they're winning. And literally he gets Ciara, you know what I'm saying? He's dating Ciara. And like, I think a lot of those dudes looked at him as like, you ain't one shit, bud. Like you ain't one shit. And I think that he got locked into that thing with them. So like once they were gone, it was like, hey, I'm going to prove that like, yes, Rough Riders country. Let's ride.
That's right.
Saskatchewan Rough Riders. That's right. Like, yeah, that's where Russ is gonna be playing eventually. I think he got locked into that, like where he wants to be like he's got to prove that he's the guy. Like he's got to prove that it wasn't a fluke, because like he's married to Ciara now. Like now he's faked it for so long that he's made it, and now he really doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Still, still hasn't learned. Like he faked it until he made it, and then it's like, oh shit, I still can't do it. It's like. It's a very strange psychological place for him, I think, because I think Seattle.
I can't win. My girlfriend's taller than me.
Right? He's more successful.
Psychological battle off the rip.
She fucking calls me a bitch all the time.
Yeah.
Like
tells me to take out the damn trash.
She's still taller than me when she takes the heels off. This is bullshit.
He goes to parties and just kicks the ground like a lot of.
Oh no! There's no way that unless they're out in public, Ciara is allowed to wear heels around him. He wears those Rick James heels in the house, like those are his house shoes.
The Prince platforms.
Like that's it. So that he can feel like he's right up there with her, so it doesn't bother him as much.
He's got enough money to buy that Biff Tannen or that Biff Tannen fucking. You know what I'm talking about? He gets taller.
Yeah.
It's like how little kids have step stools to brush their teeth. Russell Wilson has a step stool to step up and kiss his girlfriend goodnight.
Red carpet pictures.
That's
he
crazy.
Hires a guy to walk behind
he's got him taped to his shoes.
He's got his shoes.
Now I do want to bring up a couple other things real quick. First of all, Mike Evans signed a to stay with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What does that do for the wide receiver market with him staying?
Hurts the wide receivers on the market.
Because there's nobody else that at least comes to the forefront of my mind that's as good as he is on the market right now.
And what's more for the wide receivers, I'm sorry to cut you off, Seven, is Evans would have set the market.
He would have.
Evans would have gotten a payday for a lot of those wide receivers. Without Evans on the market, they're not getting paid as much.
Nope. And I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. Evans did every single wide receiver in the market a favor. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because there is now a prime for a solid receiver across multiple top teams like Kansas City that need a top tier receiver. And so everybody's price, everybody that was below Mike Evans, their price just went up because Mike Evans stuck around and he's not on the market. Mike Evans did those receivers a favor. The bar for receiver pay as a whole might not move, but every free agent receiver right now should be sending Mike Evans a thank you card because they're going to make more money because the market just got tighter.
Right. So it's fair. So you're gonna pay somebody who might not be worth that money just to make a splash, to make a move, and like maybe get some help, and then you'll overpay for him, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
well, that's like an Al Davis move. He'd pick like the worst receiver and give him like $6 million back in the day, which is a lot. And then it'd be like, oh man, that just made this receiver I really want like worth $20 million.
Drafted two guys named Mike Williams.
I don't know what you're talking about, KC. Yes, because we've won 3
Gold
Super
standard.
Bowls in the last 5 years.
Gold
To
standard.
the Bucks 1, Joel. So go eat a dick.
Come, dude, Brady, you want a joke more than that fucking bubble title in the NBA or whatever the fuck you guys talk shit about all the time? You want more of a joke? How about Tom Brady just going there for a year and shining his light all over everybody and they just fucking win a title and then he just bounces out like, oh, you're welcome, Tampa.
Completely.
Give me my $50 million.
And then gets his coach fired when he comes back.
Like,
completely a game that he won because of a completely decimated Kansas City line that multiple analysts will tell you in that Super Bowl that when Mitchell Schwartz went down in the AFC Championship, everybody went, Kansas City's fucked.
Was that the game? Because Mahomes has been in three Super Bowls now. Was that the game where he was like perpendicular to the ground and he still threw it perfectly to the end zone?
He's been a 4.
Yep.
He's been a 4.
He's been a 4?
Yeah,
Okay, my fault.
4. 2 against San Fran. 2 against San Fran, 1 against Philly, and then 1 against Tampa.
Oh, yeah. Not the one where San Fran was celebrating at halftime and doing the group photos in the end zone.
They came back and then they ended up losing.
I'm very anti-Tom Brady. I really think that there was a lot of things going for Tampa Bay during their Super Bowl run with Tom Brady. Tom Brady, stats-wise, I think he's one of the best to ever play the game. But, I mean, my personal opinion, I have a problem with his character instead of his actual playing style. Plus, if you play for 24, 25 years, you're gonna bound to break a bunch of recorers and try to be the best.
Let's delve. I have so many things wrong with what you just said out loud, but I have so many things wrong with what you just said. I'm sorry. I don't even know where to begin. Statistically, he's not. I mean, statistically, he's not. Yes, he broke he played forever. Like he broke the passing yards record, but that's all going to be like over pat. Like statistically, he was never the guy. It was always a leadership thing. It was a situation thing in New England for sure.
Yeah.
But even guys who play 20 years don't win 7 titles. It just doesn't happen. You also don't come back from that. His ice in his veins. That dude's the fucking he's my comparison to Jordan in the Jordan LeBron thing. I think he's Jordan in that conversation. And then I think that you have Mahomes, who is LeBron. If that makes any sense,
It does.
Yeah.
The talented, the more talented, like the eye test. Even if he doesn't get to 7 Super Bowls, because I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to get to 7 Super Bowls because that's fucking ridiculous. It's a ridiculous number, honestly.
Yeah.
If there's more parity now, I don't think he gets to 7 Super Bowls, but I think that for me, he's already there you go, because I just saw it. I see. I saw Brady too the whole time. So
What's up?
I saw Super Bowl.
Jordan.
Oh, he's the greatest basketball player ever.
Jordan,
Of the 90s.
Jordan 90s. Yeah, he was definitely in the 80s and 90s. He was pretty good.
How you doing?
He was all right. He's hitting shots over guys like Craig Elo, who wouldn't play in the NBA.
I mean, he was no Nate Robinson, but
he was definitely no J.R. Smith. Jordan J.R. Smith.
Oh shit. Okay.
I remember when I was at a bar
Zach
10
Levine.
years ago. I'm hanging out in a bar and someone was like, name me one player that's better than LeBron. And off the top of my head, I was like, I don't know, Nate Robinson. And this guy flipped out. He flipped out to the point where the bar threw him out because he was like, You can't throw me out. This dude thinks Dave Robinson's better than LeBron James.
Hold on, Ambrose, hold on. Gabrielle, we were actually the comparison was Tom Brady and Michael Jordan, the basketball player, versus Mahomes and LeBron James, the
That's
basketball
my
player.
bad. It was an absolutely unwarranted fucking comparison that should not have came out of left field. But that was me just wanting to start that conversation.
Yeah, he was just being a
I do a lot. It sinks through sometimes. So like, yeah, sports report. Let's ride. Sorry,
but no. But as far as the Mike Williams things go, I think it's a good mood for Tampa, especially if Baker Mayfield stays and he's able to keep some of that core together, because Tampa Bay just blew it up towards the end of the season. And I like Mike Evans and I like Baker Mayfield too. So keep the two of them together. Tampa Bay is going to be dangerous.
Ando, I don't miss you. It's almost just like you're down there still, but like he can talk. It's like he can talk well. He speaks well. It's like so it's not Ando. Okay, check. I just keep forgetting every time he talks. I'm like, oh yeah, he can talk. He makes good points. So sorry, Ando. I'm glad I can't see Ando in the background typing his replies. By the way, that's really like because I feel like he's just like I can see his forehead, like his veins are popping out and shit. He's like,
if we're gonna be nice, we should probably let Ando back on. At some point.
Yeah.
We need to let him back on.
You guys right now.
In the same room as Ando, just fucking making fun of him. I love it.
Sports report. Let's ride, baby.
Come on, let me back in, guys. Do the truffle shuffle, Ando.
Let me back. Come on.
Do the truffle shuffle.
Let me back, man. Come on, man.
Okay. All right, well, what else?
Come on, man. What I do?
My brother's just older. There it is. Yes. I bet you won't rip that shirt off.
Oh God,
no, he will not.
Oh man! All right, the last thing I did want to bring up from the NFL, the confines of the NFL, Jason Kelsey announces his retirement today after 13 seasons.
Didn't he already do that? How many times are you going to retire?
No,
he had not announced it.
He made the announcement he was going to, and then he signed a contract for one more year. But then today he made the official announcement.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of the best centers to ever play the game. He's going to be missed in Philly, and I really enjoy it.
What's going on?
It's going to be a bummer to see him not playing in the football anymore.
It's hot in here. Sweat.
She asked the question. She asked the question why I be hating
Guys, I just
on
got
Russ.
super
We're
nervous.
not hating on Russ.
I just got super nervous.
We're not hating on Russ anymore. We're not hating on Russ.
Yo, Russell Wilson's going to be working at a drive-through, and someone's going to come through. He's like, "You want me to hand it to you, or just back up 5 yards and throw it at you?"
Yeah, Steen retired. That was sad, Joe. That was sad.
Kelsey retired.
Dude, how?
I had a feeling it was coming. The only thing that held me back was I was unsure if he was going to play one more year and then he and Travis would walk away.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think there's really any dispute to the fact that Jason Kelsey is one of the best centers to ever touch the game. No center. I saw one stat that Jason Kelsey hit that nobody else did. I think it was his number of All-Pro nods and Super Bowl rings. But the only other centers to have 6 All-Pro nods are in the Hall of Fame.
I think the best center in history is Jim Otto. He never missed a snap his entire career.
Yeah,
that was one of them. Definitely.
But Kelsey's definitely up there for the runner-up.
Mike Pouncey.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Mark Stepnoski.
I forgot about Mark Stepnoski.
Being biased, I like Brad Meester from Jacksonville.
Yes.
Mark Stepnoski did so much cocaine too that like he holds a different part for me. Like he's like dude's Hall of Fame drugs, Hall of Fame football. It's a doubled up like.
Can we start a Hall of Famer for drug addicted athletes?
John Daly's the fucking number one first ballot.
Number one.
What do you mean, John Daly? Daryl Strawberry.
Also, can
your
brother get Ryan Leaf?
What about? Hold on, Jim Thorpe pitched a no-hitter on acid.
Yeah,
that's Doc. That's Doc. Doc Ellis.
Oh, was that okay?
How about Domingo Herman going in first ballot for pitching a perfect game, fucking drunk? He did that last year. We didn't talk about that.
Hold on.
David Wells did too.
I think that on acid and drunk are on completely different levels. Herman's getting in, but I don't think he's first ballot.
No, Doc Ellis was straight up talking to that ball.
Yeah, dude. He was like moving it with his mind. Like he was throwing cutters, and he was going and just staring down and was moving. And he was like, "This is fucking awesome.
This is fucking awesome."
He like fucking unlocked a whole new level. Yeah, that's amazing though. Yeah, Domingo's out there with a fucking like a dip of chew wrapped in some fucking big league chew, just drunk as shit, like taking it out to take like a little nip. He had a little nip in his back pocket.
You have Tim Raines, Tim Raines, who openly said, we were taught to slide head first so we wouldn't break the Coke vials in our back pocket.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. He said he kept it in his back pocket.
That's a fucking real quote, man.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen that.
One last thing I do want to bring up, I'll bring it to the Kansas City Chiefs fans particularly. The Jarius Sneed gets the franchise tag and Chris Jones don't.
Yeah, I told you that was going to happen.
Yeah, he Steven called that, but like what
you called that one? You did.
What was the tag on Sneed though? It wasn't near $30 million for Chris Jones.
And that's exactly why the tag on Chris Jones is like 35 million. The deal that they're going to sign with Chris Jones is going to be between 20. I think that's the last numbers I saw is with incentives. It'll be between 27 and 30. Sneed they can use as a sign and trade piece. Because there is a lot of belief that Sneed actually won't be a Kansas City Chief by the end of this week. It's going to happen soon.
Wow.
I need Ando back for this conversation, by the way. But,
Copy that. Give me a minute.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
why?
Because I know it's fucking stupid. Like, I don't honestly want either one of them, but like, we gotta have one of them. We should probably get the sister at this point. We should probably get the sister. It seems like she has more like just up to date knowledge and like. Honestly, I mean, hey, Ando. Sorry.
I've been summoned. What do you want, dickhead?
Yeah.
Hey, did you hit your head? Why do you sound like that?
We were talking about how we called that Chris Jones wasn't going to get the franchise tag and that Sneed's just as valuable to the defense and everything last week. How we basically sent you to school for a little bit on the all the whole Chiefs thing, and then they actually did that. So I was just to gloat a little bit. I wanted to bring you back, but
you're such a.
We were fucking right. We usually are.
I was saying it as a fan. I wanted them to keep him. I don't know how you keep Chris Jones without sacrificing part of the team. So I was in agreement with 7, but at the same time, as a fan of the Chiefs, I want to keep him and hope we don't lose other pieces in the process.
It's like a whole cup of me being correct right now. I know.
It's
damn.
Man, that's from Sonic. That's
drinking it up.
Correct.
I truly believe, and I don't blame Kansas City for it because while I would love to keep Sneed, there are enough pieces waiting in the wings that you can give Kansas City. Will it be a small blow to the defense? Yeah. But guess what? That probably means we'll give up 9 points in the second half per game next season instead of fucking 7. I think we'll be fine.
I honestly, I don't think they should worry. Kansas City ripped the mantle out of New England's hands. That's the place to go now.
Yeah.
They'll get someone in there.
Yeah.
It's
I do team-friendly deal.
I do want to ask a question because while I was banished to the sidelines on my own part of the podcast. Which,
I didn't know you guys were actually going to switch, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, it just.
It was hilarious.
That's how comedy goes, man.
It was funny.
My sister asked. So
she should be on the show, obviously. Go ahead.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. The Broncos have an $85 million dead cap on their team roster.
Yes.
Because no matter what was going to happen, Russell Wilson is guaranteed that money from Denver, no matter what would have happened. Correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Guarantee contract.
Let's ride.
No matter if he would have stayed or left, like they're going to cut him on the 13th or trade him, Denver has to pay Russ that money no matter what. Correct?
If you think about it for a second, guys, he ain't got to play another down of football.
Hey, Will, do you think Russell Wilson's checks get direct deposited into Ciara's account?
I sure do.
Well, he has Ciara's husband. So
do.
my next question is: my sister wanted to know
pussy drive that car.
What is the difference between a standard franchise tag and a non-exclusive franchise tag? I know a franchise tag takes what is it, the top 5 or top 10 salaries at that position, and they break it down, basically average it, and that's your 1 year salary that you make.
Yes.
What is a non-exclusive franchise tag?
they can try to get a deal from another team, and the team that put the non-exclusive tender on them has to match it, or they can take the deal from the other team, and their home team that lost them gets a comp pick in the 3rd round.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yep. Yeah, I didn't know, so I didn't want to pretend like I had an idea. I knew what the franchise tag was, but I didn't know what a non-exclusive tag was.
Yeah, Will, can we
Cokehead Hall of Fame? What the hell?
Yeah, Will, can we move on about it? I keep seeing Zamora's little pick off the side of the screen, but it's like.
Hold on, what am I seeing on the news feed?
Zamora was the one that was on the show last week, right?
Yes.
Jameis Winston is offering to give Caleb Williams advice.
Is that right?
On how to conduct himself.
That's the last thing you need to see. That's the last thing you need to see.
Johnny Manziel is going to have to step up and tell this kid to calm down because he's getting out of fucking line.
Can we discuss how dumb Caleb Williams is?
The dude with issues. That he said Johnny Manziel. Oh my God. This dude is not throwing.
Nope.
He didn't throw at the combine.
I don't know
He's been talking about his daddy. He's been talking about some ownership of the team, whoever drafted him.
He didn't give out any medical information to any of the teams.
Nope.
Like, dude,
who is giving this? Is it just his dad giving him advice?
His dad giving him bad advice.
Can he take that golden dick out of his mouth yet? For real.
I'm
sorry.
His dad is doing more to harm his career than the kids of Charles Manson.
Yep.
Fuck boy.
The only thing that the dad does have a good point about, and I get how it works, is the fact that when you're drafting these young kids,
I said golden dick. That's what I said. I said what I said. Like come at me.
When you get these kids coming out of college and you put them on these bad teams with no direction, because I don't care what people say. Ryan Pace, you have made some good transactions, but for the most part, you have been terrible within that front office and within that coaching staff. How many offensive coordinators has Justin Fields had since he's been there? How many?
3 or 4.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Had a new offensive coordinator every year.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The NFL draft, they don't do a good job of putting these young teams, these young players in a good situation.
You know, what's crazy is I'm pretty sure that one of us has said multiple times that you should not be allowed to start a rookie quarterback in the NFL at the start of the season. I'm pretty sure that one of us has gone on this fucking rant.
You have.
Can't do that
multiple fucking times.
It'd be nice, but you can't
even if it's not a rule, it should be an unwritten rule, because you are doing every single one of those young men a fucking disservice by throwing them to the fucking wolves, because none of those kids even know how to read a defense unless you get somebody that comes from one of 2 pro-style offenses that run in college, and one of them is Ohio State. CJ Stroud,
Andrew Luck,
CJ Stroud and Andrew Luck are 2 of only a handful of quarterbacks that were actually ready at the start of their rookie season.
Wasn't Peyton Manning ready?
No.
Peyton Manning was
no, he had a terrible start. Yeah, that's
he was ready. He was ready to start though. It's more about physical. It's more about physically, I think, than it is mentally. Because those bunch of guys aren't mentally ready to start. Like Caleb Williams ain't physically ready to start.
I mean, but what's the solution, Will? Because you can't just be like, "Oh, you suck. You can't draft this kid."
No,
I mean, I get what you're saying, and it makes sense. But like
in the first round, you teach these other kids that are coming up a lesson. Because if Caleb Williams goes first, all of those kids in college are going to look at that and go, "Oh."
Can someone pull up the stat? Has there ever been anyone that has come out of their junior year and succeeded?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
positions, but I don't recall a quarterback.
Josh Allen was a junior at Wyoming.
Yeah.
That's like the only quarterback.
He wasn't great as a rookie.
What was Lamar? Was Lamar senior when he came out, or was Lamar junior?
Lamar was junior.
He was a junior, I thought.
I think he was too. Yeah.
Okay, so that's recent because coming up, every time a junior would come out, it would be a bust. Rick Meyer, bust.
But even Lamar had to get some help though.
Nobody's came in and just dominated.
Yeah, and Lamar, to Lamar's credit, Lamar spent, because he knew he needed help, he spent like the entire offseason with his, I think, quarterbacks coach or offensive coordinator. I don't know which one. And like he lived with the guy. They woke up, they had a regiment, they went over things, they trained. And he'd do everything. Like he'd go to the guy's kids' football games, he'd go to and like it was like everything. And it was about getting a routine, about living a respectable life. And that helped him a lot.
And the one good thing that Baltimore did put him in, it put him in a good situation. Good defense. You were running the football.
They had a solid coaching staff.
Had a solid coaching staff.
He's physically ready.
Ready. You just had to get some mental things down. But
situation matters.
But he's a rare breed. He's a rare breed of young guy. Like these young guys come out. Like you go to USC, and you think you're the best thing ever. He came out and he was like, I know I need to improve. Like I know I'm not going to win the first year. I know there's work to do. And a lot of the quarterbacks that come out don't have that mentality.
But Caleb, you still put him in a bad spot in Chicago. You got one receiver in DJ Moore. Yep. Your running game's up in the air. Your best defensive player.
You could say Cole Kmet's a good number 2, but if your tight end is a number 2 and his name's not Travis Kelce, you're screwed.
Chicago is in such bad shape. It looks like it was a bad decision for them to let go of Mitch Trubisky.
And you let your best defensive players go.
Can I say for the record that I feel more confident in Bo Nix than I do in Caleb Williams right now? I think Bo has a better career.
I feel more confident in my 4-year-old daughter than I do about Caleb Williams right now.
I would hope it's your daughter.
And seven, me and you talked about this. Me and you talked about this off air.
Thank you. Good.
I just don't think he has the NFL mentality. I don't
like it.
He does. I really don't. You can't be on the field crying.
It's not even that for me with Caleb Williams. And I'm going to say it like this because, there's some guys that are emotional. That's how they let out that stress because all of these guys, when you're playing football at the collegiate level and professionally, you are putting everything you have into every single play. And so I'm not going to get lost in Caleb Williams crying. What I'm going to look at here, and this is one of the things that I look at. There was a lot of criticism about Patrick Mahomes going into his draft. He didn't have the footwork. It was going to be 2 to 3 years before he would be ready. All of this stuff. Patrick Mahomes was a better quarterback coming out of college than Caleb Williams is. Caleb Williams keeps getting compared to Patrick Mahomes. People even saying, having the, as Stephen A. Smith says, the unmitigated gall to compare him to Patrick fucking Mahomes. Well, and I'm sorry, but he has not earned that. He regressed last year. He regressed in his last season of college football, and you expect me to believe that he's going to be able to be a starter as a rookie in the NFL in a fucking shit show system like Chicago.
Not even a starter. I mean, honestly, anything. I don't see him going in the first round. I don't.
They cannot.
If you think that this guy is going to come in and be the face of your franchise and carry your franchise after every terrible decision he's made, you deserve whatever comes to you. You deserve to go 0-16. You deserve to never win a Super Bowl again because that is a dumber decision than whatever he's done.
Dan,
like that.
You keep Justin Fields. Go get Marvin Harrison. You're good to go.
I would agree with that. Dan, I was going to say, Dan, do you take Caleb at 1 or do you stick with Fields?
I wouldn't know if I run the Chicago Bears. Fuck no, honestly. But like,
as a fan of football, I saw a lot of progression, especially the final 8 or 9 weeks out of Justin. Build off of that, get him a solid number 2, get Marvin Harrison in the draft, and build from there.
So I'll defend. So I'll defend the quarterbacks who are like kind of little prima donnas before like the draft because Eli Manning, okay, John Elway, his dad was running the show. All right, Eli and the guy from Jerry Maguire. Right.
Show me the money.
No, but like, show me. I love black people. Show me. Okay. But no, like the guy from Jerry Maguire. All right, did it. Okay. No, but
Rod Tidwell.
Yeah,
Rod Tidwell.
Yeah. No, I got him as a drafted receiver in my Madden franchise because I had a whole draft class of.
Yeah, but I think the difference is their dads. Like Eli Manning's dad was Archie Manning. Caleb Williams' dad is like Kit Culkin.
It's like ball from the Dollar Tree.
Yep. Never lost.
I said it in chat that Caleb's dad is the NFL version of LeVar Ball.
I played Michael Jordan. Never lost.
You never got on the football field there, Bob.
Never lost.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna take it back because we got a couple of old guys in the group with this one. Drafting Caleb Williams is like investing in Enron.
Actually, that sparked something because you said take it back, and here's this is the comparison I'm going to make. It's to another football player, and that is good.
I'm made up like Bernie.
But I don't know if anyone can remember. Will, you could probably remember back to the 1990s because you're in my age group. And the Raiders drafted a guy under the exact same circumstance. His kid was playing since he was a kid. His dad was grooming him to be a pro. This kid was the shit coming out of USC. The kid's name was Todd Marinovich.
Yeah.
And it's the same exact
That
scenario.
ginger motherfucker.
And now that kid is like a bum skateboarder out in California not doing anything.
Bro.
And he's like,
I really
50.
thought you were going to say Jamarcus Russell.
Don't be talking.
Oh, no. He's barely a football player.
Ambrose, I promise you start talking about fucking skateboarding up here, bro.
What?
Got skateboarding ties.
You
right?
can't skateboard in a trail park. Trail park doesn't even got like roads. You got dirt.
Yeah, but they got concrete around you can grind on, all right?
Can't skateboard on gravel.
Grind on a road bump.
Can't skateboard on gravel.
Can't skateboard on gravel. I got one of them big like ones with like the little
chip
tires.
your tooth on a patio stone.
Hey, you want to know how deep in the future I am? You want to know how deep in the future I am? I got that hoverboard from Back to the Future.
Yes.
Too,
Hook on.
Yeah, that's how you lost your tooth.
All you guys, hook on.
And we let him off the hook. We let him off
Who's
the hook.
gonna work on
Ambrose.
Damn,
All right, I
Ambrose
do wanna
catching
go ahead.
strays like a fucking humane society over here.
Yep.
I do want to go ahead and get into the hook because I gotta address this.
If it's not emotionally, it's with the words, guys. First, Dan kicks me off the show.
Isn't that
and then Ambrose
emotionally?
wants to shoot me. Yeah.
Emotionally. But we're gonna go into
why I
the
love you
hardwood now,
guys.
guys, because I gotta get into a few things. I gotta get into what Charles Barkley said. So let's go ahead and get into.
Charles, my man.
Hardwood. All right. I want to get into Charles Barkley's comments on. I want to get into Charles Barkley's comments on TNT from the other night. He said that he doesn't understand why everybody in the media talking about the LA Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. He said that none of the teams above them are worried about them, in his opinion. He says it doesn't make sense. And to a certain bit, I sort of kind of agree because you got the Nuggets ramping up. You got OKC doing their thing. You got the Timberwolves doing their thing. So why are people talking about two teams that's barely in the play-in tournament?
I can answer
He says,
that.
and he also says no one's talking about 9 and 10 in the East.
I'll tell you why they're not talking about the Lakers or the Warriors, because they have two of the best players. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. Two of the best players in LeBron and Steph.
Good, doesn't it? Right.
But he's saying why but what he's saying is how come they're always being brought up on TV?
Because, dude, without the Lakers and the Warriors, what do you talk about?
I'm
sorry, LeBron's playing season 24, and we're still talking about LeBron as being a top 10 player.
Yeah, but Will, like in the playoffs in 2 months, we're gonna go. Oh, that's why we were talking about them.
Yeah, dude, I'm
because
sorry,
the Lakers are gonna go deep into the playoffs.
I don't know deep, but as long as they're in that 7, 8, 9 frame, especially 7 and 8, you just have one game to win and you're in. And they did it last year against the Warriors. What'd they do? Dan, they made it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
Now, I will say, especially after the shit show that happened with the Warriors yesterday against the Celtics, I don't know if you're as worried about the Warriors. Getting LeBron and AD in the playoffs is a different beast than getting them in the regular season, because LeBron turns it on in the playoffs. Again, I cannot believe that those words are coming out of my mouth.
Because you're saying
but still, but depending on the team that I'm playing in the first round, if I'm Denver and I get the Lakers in the eighth seed, Denver's beaten LA 3 times this year already. If I'm the Nuggets are about the only team that I think can honestly look at their roster and go, we're not worried
and feel great.
Okay,
yeah.
OKC, while they're talented, while they have a strong, solid body, how much of that team has playoff success? None.
Very few.
How much of the Timberwolves team has playoff success? Legitimate playoff success. It is a different beast to take on.
Rudy Gobert.
The
I can't believe
best,
I said that.
It is a different beast to take on the guy who has been there for 20 years.
Feels good, doesn't it, Ando?
Again, as a Jordan guy, I can't say it. But I will put respect on LeBron's name when it is credited. And right now, when LeBron gets in the playoffs, he is tough to beat.
Will just you guys just know that he's just going to take it. So his biggest thing is pace. He just slows the pace down. If you're or he speeds it up. If you're a fast paced fast break team like OKC or you want to be in a transition line, he's gonna fucking back it up and he's gonna take 8 seconds to get across half court. And it's just getting it because he knows it's just an experience thing. It really is experience. I'm not even saying I'm not even trying to suck the dude's dick right now. I'm just saying he's just gonna change the fucking pace of the game. And it's hard for teams to adjust to that. To figure out how to win the playoffs on the fly in the NBA is fucking ridiculously hard. Okay. Yeah. It's fucking ridiculously hard, especially when you have a guy who's been there for so long and so many minutes in the playoffs, and AD as well has been in the playoffs a lot now too. It's they're just going to figure out how to fucking rough you up a little bit and get in your head. And for long enough, they might win 4 games. You know what I'm saying? That's really how they're going to do it. I'm not saying they're more talented than anybody. They're not the most talented team in the West, obviously, but I think they're going to make a deep run because they're going to fucking be able to do that savvy veteran shit for long enough to make it to another Western Conference Finals. Honestly, yeah, that's what it is. At this point.
If there's any team,
the press in the NBA kind of also runs in the same line as the press in college sports. The blue chip franchises are always going to be talked about over the smaller market teams. When you watch college sports, college football, everyone's always talking about Notre Dame, no matter how bad Notre Dame is. Everyone's always talking about Duke, no matter how bad Duke is, because those are the franchises you want to hear them talk about. Yeah. And when you get to the NBA, people want to talk about the Lakers. If the Lakers are still doing are the Lakers going to win the finals this year if they're doing good? If the Lakers are doing bad, why are the Lakers underperforming? They're not going to talk about the Nuggets because no one wants to hear about the damn Nuggets except the Nuggets.
They also talk about it's kind of changed from teams to players now in the NBA. So it's certain players get talked about a lot. Steph Curry, we just did. Steph Curry, LeBron James get talked about a lot. And I think that's where people are kind of upset about it is they don't want to, but that's what's going to happen. You go on, if you went on to a college basketball show and you talked about Wichita State the entire time, people are going to be like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck was that? And it's doing the status quo.
What the fuck is a Wichita State?
Yeah, the Shockers.
That should be their fucking logo.
One of the
right on the middle.
Why is it one of the best college basketball programs in the country? That's what Wichita State.
I have no faith in the Lakers, and the reason why I have no faith in the Lakers is one reason and one reason only. And Dan, you'll understand when I say this. I don't trust Darvin Ham. Not one freaking
Darvin.
lick.
It's not. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm going to back up Dan on this.
I don't trust him.
The team doesn't run through Darvin Ham. Who does the team run through, Dan?
It's going to have to roll through LeBron. It's going to have to.
They're not going to fire
them play the other night.
Oh, Darvin Ham should change last names with Dak Prescott.
Exactly. Dude, you can replace Darvin Ham with any coach in the NBA right now that isn't sitting on the bench, and it doesn't make a difference. LeBron, at the end of the day, is going to be running that team. He's going to run the sets that he wants. He's going to have the players that he wants on the court. That's all that matters.
Can we just go full Bill Russell and just make him the fucking coach, please? I was
looking at the Lakers the other night. I don't understand.
Coach LeBron, this playbook only has one page.
I don't understand Darvin Ham. I don't understand Ham's rotations. I don't understand his philosophy at all. I don't get it. He's not a very good coach.
That thing on his forehead is confusing.
Why do you think LeBron is running everything on the court?
Darvin's
just there in a suit and a tie.
Yeah, the rumor is
LeBron trying to get that man out of there. That's the rumor.
Yes, because he knows more about. Dude, I bet. Here's an honest estimate. Yes, thank you, Zmora. Here's a fucking honest estimate. LeBron James has more basketball knowledge, especially about the current NBA and how it is played, than 28 out of 30 coaches. I'll go 90% of the coaches. I'm not joking. So I'll name it once he does it. Rick Carlisle, Greg Popovich, fucking there's probably 75%.
Steve Kerr? Would you put
Steve
Steve
Kerr
Kerr in that category?
Yeah,
I would say Steve Kerr in that category.
There's more than I originally said, like not 90%, right?
Yeah.
70%. I bet literally 70%. I bet he's a better coach, has more knowledge, could call better plays, and could run a team better than fucking 70% of the coaches right now. Guaranteed.
Yeah. I would say probably almost every I think every coach in the East he can outcoach. Except maybe the guy running in Boston.
I think one team that I'm looking at in the West that might surprise some people, Sacramento Kings.
Absolutely.
They're going to.
I think they're going to surprise some folks.
That's
I
an
really
interesting
think
team.
I really think they are.
Anything
I
better
think the
than
Lakers
Doc.
should
Will,
hire
do you have
Stan
the-
Van Gundy.
Well, do
I
you have
love-
the standings
Stan.
for the West?
What?
Yeah, I do.
Because it should be what? It's Denver 1, OKC 2, Minnesota 3.
OKC's 1, Timberwolves are 2, Denver's 3, Clippers 4,
okay.
Pelicans 5, Kings 6, Suns 7th, Mavs 8, Golden State 9, Lakers 10.
Bro, do you think
Yeah,
that
but
like
there's still 20 games left in the season. So
Yep.
yeah. I think
So
your
things
top
can change pretty quick.
your top 4 will probably compete amongst each other. 5, 6, 7 may compete, and then 8, 9, and 10 will compete.
Anything better than Doc Rivers.
Oh, amen to that. Amen to that.
Oh man.
do you think that Stan Van Gundy like might have been the greatest coach in NBA history if he wasn't so fat? Like his players just like looked at him, they were just like,
Well,
fucking dude, that
okay,
fucking dude
let's
couldn't
look.
want to make one
Shaq-
trip up and down on the fucking floor. He's telling us what to do.
I don't
like-
know. Look, he got
Motherfucker
fired by
right there.
Shaq and replaced by Pat Riley in Miami. Then he got
Why?
fired by Dwight Howard and got replaced by God knows who in Orlando.
You know the
So,
dude
nah,
I've always had a problem with as far as the NBA head coach is concerned, and some people might say I sound blasphemous, but I've always had a problem with George Carl. Always.
George
yeah,
Karl?
nah.
Yeah.
Always.
As a
He
fan
got-
of the Sonics,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the worst coach was who was the guy like Latrell Sprewell choked out.
PJ Carcelis.
Yeah.
Carlissimo, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, yell at me one more time.
I only know that because he was the head coach of the Sonics before they got fucking trash canned to Oklahoma City.
For the
That's
Bucks,
why I
the
will
Bucks for a
always
while
hate.
too. He was a Bucks
Fucking,
guy
I
for a
will
while, too.
always hate.
Didn't he coach
OKC
Seton
for
Hall back
that.
in the day?
What's
Yeah.
that?
Well, with George Karl, I think George Karl got lucky. So George Karl had really good teams when he first started, and what happened was like he garnered respect from winning with really good teams. I don't think he was really doing much. Like I think he was an average NBA head coach, and then so like his style worked better if he already had existing respect from his team. Do you know what I'm saying? So like every team that he went to after he won a little bit, they just respected him off the bat. So like his style worked better because they just he didn't have to fucking gain any respect. So, like he already had it from like getting lucky at first. Kind of worked out for him.
3 examples: the Sonics in the '90s, the Bucks in the early 2000s, and then the Nuggets in the 2007 to 2010.
Yeah,
all teams that had superstars, all teams that were ready to win. George Karl took over,
set up, and like and that was his thing. And like so he came in, and everybody was like, "Oh, George Karl."
I just never liked.
He's a journeyman extraordinaire.
No, I don't do it. Yeah, no, I there was something about Karl that just rubbed me as a fan the wrong way.
Probably called pretty good plays. He was probably he was definitely a player's coach, right? Like kind of let them do whatever they want.
I don't know about that, Dan.
But like
there were a lot of players that hated George Karl.
But okay, so whatever his style was, it worked better if he had pre-existing respect. You can agree with that, right? So like I think he got lucky and just garnered pre-existing respect, and then it was like everywhere he went, it just worked because he had that respect. Like it's just getting lucky, kind of, and like good for him that he used his style to his advantage because he was a great coach. Obviously, he's like three in wins or whatever. I think he's like 3 or 4 in wins. But like, and you got Rick Carlisle just around there, just like, that guy at the YMCA that would just beat you up with fucking free throw line jumpers and shit. Like that's fucking
smack the shit out your face.
For real. Yeah, just like you're like, this guy's never gonna beat us. He's wearing like knee pads and shit. Like that's Rick Carlisle.
But I do want to go over to the Knicks very quickly. It looks like they're gonna have to try to hold the shit down without their superstar point guard Jalen Brunson. Right now, they're sitting pretty in the 4th spot at 36-25. Can the Knicks hold on without their star point guard?
I'm surprised the Knicks are holding on at all.
They're not. They're not, Ambrose.
How long is he supposed to be out?
It's indefinite right now. There is a knee injury.
Dude, they're really average with Jalen Brunson, just so everybody knows. He's a fucking defensive liability, is what he is. He's tiny. He's all of 5'10". I think he's listed at 6 foot tall, but he's all of 5'10", about 220 pounds, brick shit house. But like the guy can't guard anybody. Like he's not getting a hand in anybody's face. He guards the worst player on the other team. He gets beat up a lot. He gets fucking roast chicken, whatever the fuck they call it, when he gets put in the post. And like barbecue chicken is what Shaq calls it. He gets set a lot. So like and he's playing 42 minutes a game. So like he's a liability defensively. So is Julius Randle because Julius Randle has to guard 5s all the time, and he gets fucking barbecue chicken a lot too. And it's like They're just defensively, they're not very good. They're average when they're clicking on all cylinders. They weren't going to go anywhere, I don't think. But like,
Dan, when you say barbecue chicken, do you mean burned or do you mean?
That's what Shaq calls it. Shaq calls it barbecue chicken. He means like a little roast on the outside. Like you get a little
roasted or burned.
Taking it just burning it basically. You're just burning that shit in the post.
Now look here, Dan. All right, I don't like that you're using my stuff on this podcast. Okay,
Chuck, you can't, Chuck. Ernie, yeah, but like,
look,
man, your impressions are terrible.
Barbecue chicken, man.
Carol,
I can't do it, Shaq. Can't do it.
I was friends with the greatest basketball player in the world. Okay, and the way that you, Dan, talk about him.
Why do you sound like the Colonel Sanders?
That's decent.
And he's a white guy trying to do a black guy's voice. That's why he's
Look, maybe I'm Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder. Okay,
but hey,
never go full retard.
Brunson's injury is a knee contusion, 7. He's gonna be out. He's gonna be out multiple weeks.
To answer yours, Will, I haven't really paid attention much to the East. I know Milwaukee and Boston are kind of your two head front runners there. Indiana's playing pretty good. I don't see them making a strong run with those 3 teams at the top. Playoff, possibly, maybe a second round appearance if they're lucky. But I don't think they beat Milwaukee. I don't think they beat Boston. I don't think they beat Indiana. So your second round is your window there.
Can you throw Maurice's comment out there real quick, guys? Can you throw Maurice's comment out there real quick? I just want to hang it out there for a second.
Oh dear God.
That last one. No, it's a good point. So like I just wanted to touch on this for just a second. I'm sorry if I interrupted anybody. Maurice, you just made me think about like this pretty defensive. So Donovan Mitchell's thing, he is a freak athlete, and he could guard 3 positions. He could guard absolutely adequately for his, like, he has the ability to do so. His is a want-to thing. He wants to put every bit of energy into the offensive side of the ball because he's fucking real good at offense. Okay. And like, that is the culture a lot. That's why people say that the NBA doesn't play any defense. In the regular season, they'd be correct. Okay. In the playoffs, they do, and the effort starts to be there, but they don't know how to do it because they didn't do it all regular season. So they're just kind of like learning how to fucking defend guys. And it's like, guys, you probably should have been doing that during the regular season and stop fucking concentrating on getting 40 every night, and like maybe work on the other end, or like get some more minutes on the bench and then come back so you can be full strength. Like, it's a want-to thing with so many of these dudes, man. Like, but with Jalen Brunson, not a want-to thing. Dude's a fucking hard worker. Dude's working on the defensive end. He's just smart. He just gets cooked because he's tiny, dude. Like, and it's not his fault. It's the same thing. Steph Curry wanted to work on the defensive end. Like, now he just basically just quit. He was like, I'm gonna get toasted. I might as well just like stand up to the side. But like he does. But like that, and his is a size thing. He's a slight guy. Like, he's slight. And Jalen Brunson is a fucking fist like house, but he's 5'10". They just shoot over him. And it's like, it's unfortunate because those guys have the want to, and like Donovan Mitchell could have the want to, but like he just doesn't.
I mean, but like every once in a while, even Muggsy Bogues threw a rejection on like Patrick Ewing.
Absolutely, that never absolutely happened. That never happened.
Mitchell plays for the
totally
down low.
Muggsy Bogues,
he's a Cavalier.
Okay, that would explain why Cleveland's looking so. So I pulled up the standings on the East because I wanted to double check, and I didn't realize Indiana was the 8th seed. I thought they were still up there in the top of the seeding.
Nope.
And when the hell did Orlando get good?
Talk about a team that fucking Paulo Banchero's stud.
They're a good young team. They're a good young team with some good talent.
Good young stars. Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero, and then there's Jalen Suggs is a big glue guy.
I love Banchero.
Yeah, I didn't realize Orlando was 11 games or 9 games above 500.
Yeah.
While we're on the subject of basketball, halftime Kings are up on the Bulls 56-49. Again, Will mentioned the Kings earlier.
Like the beam.
Jazz are beating the Wizards currently 124-113. That has less than a minute to
go. Everybody's watching.
And then 8:26 left to go in the second quarter.
To hit 40. Again.
Lakers are currently ahead of the Thunder 33-27.
Okay. What I was going to say
is Thunder or Lakes in LA.
The when it comes to the Knicks, to answer your question, Will, looking at the standings, because I had to pull them up so I could make a competent answer. The Knicks will fall to being a play-in team.
I think so too.
There's a 3-game difference between whether you're a play-in team or you're just going. The Knicks will fall to being a play-in team.
And Brunson is such a huge part of their fucking entire game plan offensively, dude. He is their fucking, he's their quarterback. That's the best way you could put it. Like, he is a start. Now they're going to have to play with the backup quarterback for the rest of the year. and they're gonna get thumped a couple of times. Like it's not gonna be pretty because Julius Randle ain't carrying shit. But honestly, he's not, guys. Like Julius Randle, good player, like him.
Mo on here, Mo will agree with you.
Julius is not a number one. Julius is a 2.
And I love all the people that are like, oh, well, if not for the LeBron James trade, all those guys for the Lakers wouldn't. Motherfucker, they wouldn't.
Mo. You talk about you give your Julius Randle tape.
They don't become who they are in another place if they're still in LA. It doesn't happen. Brandon Ingram's not.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with the Knicks. My problem with the Knicks is Tom Thibodeau. That's my problem with the Knicks. He doesn't typically play young guys in rotation unless he absolutely has to.
Yeah. My problem with the Knicks is that they're the NBA's answer to the Chicago Cubs. It's like you just wait every year and you're like, this is our year. Oh, wait. No, it's not. They suck again.
Hey, Maurice, what position does Julius Randle play? Does he have one? Or is it because I can't even pin it down to like if he plays shooting guard at left-handed 6'8", or if he plays power forward if he's the center. I can't, like, that's not a good thing. That means I can't figure out what your skills are, Julius Randle. I really don't know what you do.
Me and Mo, every time you
that episode of Seinfeld where Costanza just pretends to look busy.
Every time me and Mo talk about Julius Randle, we just look at each other and we kind of figure, and we trying to figure out what the hell did the Knicks see in this man. You've had plenty of opportunity to trade him, but for some reason, the Knicks just love him.
Will, it makes me think they cooked the stat books for the Knicks. It makes me think they just put extra points on his fucking box score because I don't see where he's getting 23 a night at. I don't see it either. See it going into the basket. I don't see 10 rebounds again. I don't know what he's doing. Like do they
give Randall a handicap? Is that how they make it happen? Randall made a basket. That's 4 points.
We're paying him enough. You better get some fucking free rebounds. All right, let's get this down on paper.
Because Will, it's like that scene in Half Baked where he's the guy on the couch and everyone's like, "Yo, man, why aren't you going to trade your boy?" I thought that was your boy, dude.
Like, let's not focus on me, guys. Let's not focus on me, guys. Let's focus on your guys' problems. You're like, what the fuck's Julius Randle doing? He's like,
I don't understand it. And it's like, again,
yes.
Joe, I'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
And if you want to talk about playoffs, we talking about playoffs.
That's good.
Playoffs.
That's good.
Look at Mr.
That's really good.
Look at Mr. Julius Randle.
Want to win a game?
Look at him in the play. Look at him in the playoffs. Look at what Julius Randle has done in the playoffs. Absolutely.
Well. That's to say nothing.
Nothing.
He's a good 4.
Nothing divided by nothing is still nothing.
He's a 4 on the finals.
What's this?
Finals team, Will. He's a 4 on a finals team. He'd be like Anton Jameson, 2007 Dallas Mavericks.
Oh!
Perfect. That's a perfect Anton Jameson end of his career. Get some rebounds.
2007, Jameson, believe it or not, I believe was playing for the Cavaliers, who made it to the finals playing with LeBron James.
Because Dallas got bounced in the first round by the fucking Golden State Warriors, the first 8 to beat a 1 seed in the NBA playoffs history.
Not correct, because the first one to do that was the Nuggets against the Supersonics in 94.
I mean, personally, I compare Julius Randle to Michael Jordan.
That Nuggets team with the Kenbe Mutombo team.
Yeah, check it out. The first 8 team to beat a 1 were the Nuggets to beat the Sonics. I think they beat them 3-2 in 94.
Have you ever seen that that video clip of Mutombo holding the ball like this underneath the goal? That's the victory.
Yeah. Now, you are correct in the current format where it's 7-7-7-7 that the Mavericks were the first team to lose a tournament. Yeah. But by history, it's not.
I mean, personally, I think Julius Randle is more like Michael Jordan when he played on the White Sox.
Suffice to say, striking out. Except people aren't going to New York to watch Randle. People are going to Birmingham to watch Jordan.
We're not going to get into this because it'll last forever, but is Jimmy Butler Michael Jordan's son?
I think
that's a whole different. That's
not a weird question to ask. And look at their pictures and tell me that's not
DNA. We need DNA evidence. Bro. We need to get some actual witnesses, accounts of this. I mean,
Will's gonna have like papers taped to his wall, like his
he's gonna have that meme of Charlie Day from Everything Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's going all crazy like this, proving it. So
this is connected to this.
He is. He's Michael Jordan with hair.
Do you
Dude, it's nuts.
They even have a side-by-side like photo of him. You can't see it on the phone, but they put the faces together, and it's literally Michael Jordan with one half of his head is
fucking
him.
crazy, dude. He looks exact, and they play, but their style of play is very similar. Their bodies are very similar. Like, dude, it's weird, man. I'm telling you right now, it makes no sense actually. But like,
Does he scream "Just shoot it, midget" at the shortest guy on the court?
I got another question. Did Jimmy Butler actually get it on with Rachel Nichols?
I would
for sure.
Lucky.
I think he did.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with 7. Lucky, by the way.
I think a lot. Yeah, for real. I think Rachel might have stepped outside a little bit with a couple of guys.
Well, besides, she doesn't have a soul. She can do whatever she wants.
And that's
She's
why I
a
love
ginger
redheads,
journalist. Do you know how deep into like say Satanism and shit those people are?
I mean, honestly, Jordan was really frugal with his money. You've all seen Space Jam. You see the house that guy lived in? He should have been living in a mansion.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a 3-bedroom townhouse. It's like a bathroom and a half. You got 1,800 square feet outside of Chicago. You just Jordan just got to the suburbs, baby.
You're sitting there, you're watching Space Jam. You're like, the least believable thing about this whole movie is the house that Michael Jordan lives in. I couldn't believe that he played with Looney
girlfriend's house. That's his second girlfriend's house they used for the movie. Like that was Jordan's second girlfriend's house.
I couldn't believe that he got delivered to a Birmingham Barons baseball game on a cartoon spaceship. I cannot believe that he lives in that house.
The stretching your arm from half court thing, believable. The fact that Michael Jordan actually lived in that house, not believable.
No, not at all.
More unbelievable. Yeah.
Or that his kids played hockey.
All right, you guys. We ain't gonna talk about his kids because I could go off on Marcus all day long, but we're not gonna talk about that. That's a whole different show too. All right, let's go ahead and get into our baseball news with the 7th inning stretch. Here we go.
I want to be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, I want to be the best in the.
All right, 7, go ahead, my friend.
I want to start off by giving respect to the Oklahoma Sooners softball team for unfortunately finally ending their winning streak at 71 straight games. They took an L, I believe it was Saturday night in extra innings. 71 straight games at any level is fucking hard. I mean, if you're gonna look me in the eye and tell me that college softball isn't competitive and it doesn't matter, I will fucking embarrass you.
No, I've known a couple of D1 college softball players, and it is competitive as all.
I will hold back my comment.
Yeah, yeah. I bartended with one D1 softball player. It's those girls work.
They do.
It's hard to win anything 71 times in a row, especially a sporting event. Hats off to those ladies, except you, Dan, because you win at everything. So.
You know what what's even harder than that though is all those people, because I want to look at the stats. I want to look at that run and see how many 1-run games there were. And there's at least like 6 or 7 managers out of that pile that are like, if we'd only fucking done this, if we'd only done that, we could have killed this goddamn streak. And that lives on a lot more with those guys that are like uber competitive these teams than it does with the actual team that achieved the feat. Because the team that achieved the feat won't think about it after a while. They'll just be like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was such a great season. Sure. That was such a great run. But those guys that could have killed that streak, that's going to live with them forever.
On that same kind of point, Ambrose, like imagine what weight that winning streak holds eventually when you're at 50, when you're at 60 games in a row, like against your opponent, dude, that's a fucking gigantic psychological fucking hurdle for them to overcome.
I don't even understand.
We're not going to be the team that's going to break up that shit. Like we're really not. We're not that good. Like giving up and shit. Like I don't know, maybe pitch the back.
But I mean, you do know there were like a couple of 1-run games there, and like the guy was like, "Oh man, if I'd only like stolen a base in this position, we would have been in a scoring position. We would Jesus, we should have done it. We should have taken the risk."
Everything just seemed to go right for him, and it might have been the other team subconsciously being like,
71 games, man. You lose like the odds of you losing by accident are hard.
They had to lose sooner or later.
So I'm pulling up this season schedule for the Oklahoma Sooners softball team. So their season started. They're not playing teams really that I recognize. First one was Duke. Second one was Washington. They beat Washington in softball 4-3. But the other wins that they have are pretty convincing. They beat Duke in February 3-0. They beat Long Beach State 11-3. Central Arkansas 9-0. McNeese State 8-1. Lamar 8-0. McNeese again 3-0.
Oh, so they weren't even one-run games.
No,
they were just
So, like,
mowing people down.
The closest one that they had before they lost to Louisiana was on March 1st when they played a doubleheader and they beat Miami of Ohio 9-7. That was the closest game this year before their loss.
They are to softball what Nebraska is to volleyball. If you are the best softball player in the country, you're playing for that program.
Yep.
And
thank you, Tony. That was a nice little comment there.
Dude, hey, we can give respect to Nebraska when it's there.
Yeah,
Nebraska.
I will always respect women's
Hey,
volleyball.
look, there's two things that I love Nebraska for, okay? The Cornhuskers when they're playing okay. And
Nebraska, the state closest to Taylor Swift's ass.
See your urethra of America.
Thank you for not saying that about Iowa.
I live right at the mouth of the urethra of America. Oh, I was the anus, bud.
I was the anus.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yep.
yeah.
Florida's clearly the wiener.
If there's one thing that Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska can agree on, it's that Iowa's the asshole of the country.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's with Michigan existing, by the way.
Yeah.
And when you walk outside, is it just factories and sadness? Is that pretty much all you see?
No, I mean the sadness maybe a little bit.
Fields,
but where I
fields,
live,
factories
well,
and
no, okay, no, there's a factory across the street from where I live.
There is,
so
isn't
yeah.
there? Yeah.
No, does Kevin Costner's
about
dad ever come out and play catch with you?
Is he Kevin? I don't know who's Kevin. Is he that guy that you were hanging out with last night?
Oh!
Yeah, he came out and played catch. It was awesome because I don't talk to my own dad. He's a father figure. Belly off, man.
There is.
I know who my dad is. It's
back on track, you two.
I've been to Iowa twice. Once for the Botanical Gardens in Des Moines, which was as disappointing as the state is to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
And
bang, bang.
my freshman year of college, my fraternity brothers and I went on a weekend trip. We went down to the Field of Dreams. And that is worth a stop. Like for sure, a great experience.
Finding achievement is a baseball field in the middle of a fucking cornfield. You need to rethink your
Yeah.
I will give them that. I live in kind of the butthole area. I live in the butthole area, which is like this tri-state area, which is Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota.
Oh wow, you got a lot of great things going on there.
God.
Yeah.
Oh,
look, I got to drive 20 minutes north for Cinnabon.
Hey,
okay?
fuck both of you motherfuckers. How about that? Ando's fucking speaking truth right now, okay? This is
if you got to drive 20 minutes
when
north,
the coolest state out of the three of you is Nebraska.
Oh,
have you ever had a Runza? Have you ever had a Runza, Ambrose? I know Dan doesn't care for it. Dan probably has them more often than I do. But when I go to Wayne,
I must admit this. I've been to Nebraska before. My son used to live in Nebraska. I've been to Grand Island, Nebraska, and it's
not a good start.
And it's like I felt like I was about to be attacked at every freaking turn.
I've been to Iowa once, and I've got to say that is the shittiest airport I've ever been.
I had people looking at me like
the airport in my city, its initials are SUX. So when you fly sucks, it sucks. I love it. I love it.
Okay, all right, guys, we'll get back on track here.
Yep. Sorry.
Iowa sucks.
Iowa sucks, but so something that will not surprise anybody, Clayton Kershaw is going to be starting the season on the 60-day injured list.
Can I ask a question?
That the Dodgers
Can
are
I ask a question?
Did he choke on a Popeye's biscuit?
I get who he is, and I get what he can do, what he means to a team, but this is not the first time for him to go down this road.
It's you have what the Dodgers are doing with Clayton Kershaw is the same thing that the Braves are doing with Chris Sale. They have him so that as long as everything works exactly how they want to, he gets injured early in the season.
Yeah.
And he comes back at the end of the season, fully healthy after his rehab starts, and you have a healthy, above average pitcher
for the
average pitcher going into the playoffs. That's exactly what the Dodgers are banking on. That's why the Dodgers are
booted after the third inning.
Yeah,
this game.
Like it's like lefty Max Scherzer kind of.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And it's because when Kershaw is on, Kershaw is who you want on the mound. But when Kershaw is off, You get absolutely destroyed by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the first game and the first round of the playoffs.
Remember that.
Tony is his arm's gone, right?
It's gotta be.
At this point, like it's not gone, but it's like there's no full seasons left in Clayton Kershaw. He's been around for fucking ever, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he has pitched a lot of innings.
That's why I asked the question when it comes to him. How much are the
his arm's gone.
Yeah, how much? I mean, what are you pitching with technique now? I mean, there's no power, but there's no power there.
And old Greg Maddux, and it's an old Greg Maddux. You're wanting to get he's pitching for location. He's not pitching. He's not pitching for speed. You're not going to see Clayton Kershaw break 98 miles an hour.
No,
I would be surprised if he breaks 95.
He didn't really before that much. I mean,
pitchers are quirky too. Like, there's only one reason. What did Randy Johnson last with the Yankees? Like 1 season,
2.
He was there for.
And he didn't do as well as he did because he never pitched in the elements and he couldn't adjust to it. So he's pitching in cold weather in the beginning of the season, and he doesn't have the comfort of like Houston or the comfort of wherever else he played, where there was like a dome.
Arizona.
He was in Seattle.
He was in Seattle.
Yeah, but Seattle played in the Kingdom at that time. Not so the dome.
Yeah, and he goes to a place where it's open air.
Yeah.
He's got to deal with the elements, and he's just not. He still performed well. He's Randy fucking Johnson, but he wasn't Randy motherfucking Johnson.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. He still may be a Yankees fan.
I look at Kershaw. If he can still get me 13 wins, I see it as a success for the season.
That's way too many. That's way too
you
many.
Think too many?
He'll be 6-4 at the end of the year, probably something like that. Like maybe like 6-3. So he'll have like a 3.5 something ERA. But he's serviceable in the playoffs because he has tons of experience and like he can fucking locate and like kind of like he can savvy his way out of a lot of fucking tough jams and stuff, and that's just what you need. Like he'll be a spot starter, like Tony said. Like he'll just be like spot starting. It'll be like somebody to fill in, and like you know a guy you can at least put him on the mound. He's not going to fucking destroy the whole dot. Like he's not just going to fall out. Like they're not going to have to be putting Tyler Smith, like Tyler Anderson or whatever the fuck they're
right.
Right. Not anymore because I'm the team, but yeah,
But yeah,
well, and if he's coming off the 60-day DL, I mean, they're going to be watching his pitch count too. He's not going to be going past 5 or 6 innings.
I guarantee you. So he's on the 60-day IL. He will not start his
100 days.
Yeah, he will not even start his rehab starts until at least July.
75.
Damn. Yeah, I would not be surprised. June or July is when he's starting his rehab starts. If Clayton Kershaw pitches more than 5 games before the All-Star break, I will be shocked.
Dude, they're giving fucking NBA players load management shit. Clayton Kershaw's playing load management seasons.
Yeah,
he's doing full seasons of load management for real.
Absolutely.
That's what he's doing right now. Yeah,
no, that's exactly true. Because like I said, this is how you get solid Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs, and the Dodgers. Dave Roberts is on his last breath because if Dave Roberts does not get a World Series ring back to LA this season or next season,
did they just win one in 2020?
Yeah, but that's a tainted one because of the bubble.
I mean, it's a Fisher Price World Series, but they still have it.
No, but that's the thing is professionally, Dave Roberts. But you look at the rosters that the Dodgers have had. Not just in 2020, but since then.
Stupid.
And they only have 1 World Series to show for it. Houston has flirted with 2. They have 1. They got but they flirted with 2.
True.
Didn't they flirt with 3? Because they lost to the Nationals in 1. They beat Texas for the other. I want to say who's the other. They had 1 more, didn't they? They've had 3 appearances in the last.
Yeah, they've had 3 appearances.
But okay, so they've flirted with 3. They won 1. There has not been another team in the majors since Boston started trading all of their good players to the Dodgers after the 2018 World Series.
Yep.
There has not been another team as stacked as the LA Dodgers. They should have at least 3 rings since 2019.
I think Boston's going to start Steven Seagal on the mound this season because that's a money laundering scam going on there.
They're like a 20-year-old white bitch walking into a fucking store thinking that she can buy all this shit on credit and pay it off over time. She's gonna get hit with a brunt ass bill one of these days, and her world is gonna fucking end.
Bankruptcy, let's ride.
Exactly what the Dodgers are doing right now.
Bankruptcy, let's ride.
Ciara, I need your help. I don't have money, Ciara, please.
Tony, how funny do you think it was like at Dave Roberts' house when like they're signing fucking Yamamoto and fucking Shohei and shit, and they're just like restacking, and he's like, "Fuck, god damn it." He's like, "Fucking, I gotta win a World Series." Like he's like, "Honey, I'm gonna have to win."
He
one.
has no excuse now.
I don't have a job next year if I don't win one.
Zero excuse. You gotta get it done.
If they flame out in the first round again, like they did against Arizona this last year, Dave Roberts loses his job this year. If they get past the first round, it's a decent run, but it's tight and they lose, he'll get another shot next year, but he will be on a shorter leash than a kink at a fetish convention.
Come on, I got this. Who just got released from the Denver Broncos?
Broncos country. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Russell Wilson is your next pitcher that is signed by the LA Dodgers.
No, because the Yankees have his rights.
That's true.
The Yankees will trade him.
The minor league system. That's true.
The Yankees will trade him.
No, Brian Cashman would still fuck up that trade, and the Dodgers would end up getting everying anyway.
Yep.
We'd end up getting Todd Marinovich.
Yeah. How bad
How did this even happen? He was skateboarding in Santa Monica. He's playing baseball for us now.
Do you think that Cashman fucked up the Soto trade?
No,
that's actually a good deal for them.
Cashman has done better this offseason than I think in his entire tenure.
It's clearly like a win now move, but like that's okay. It's what he's supposed to be doing.
Here's the thing. Now that the season's closer and Scott Boras has realized that his nuts are in a vice grip, Snell and Montgomery are going to fall in the next week. I think Boston's going to get Montgomery, and I think you guys are going to get Snell.
Snell's going to do fucking Yankees.
I think that, honestly, I think that's what's going to happen because it's the reason that Boston and New York have walked away from the table on both players is because Scott Boras put a stupid fucking price tag on both players. Scott Boras is because it's his job, but when your price tag is so high that people just get up and walk away from the table when you say this is the starting point,
not good.
That's not good. That's not good. Scott Boras.
You never tell them the starting point.
No. Why, and why the hell are you trying to get 9 years and $270 million for a 30-year-old pitcher? It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Settle for 5 and 150.
Are Soto and Judge going to be 3 and 4?
No, it'll be 2-3. 2-3.
Nope.
2-3.
Oh yeah, because yeah.
So it'll be Soto. It'll be Soto Judge.
Okay.
So you protect. Basically, you want fucking Soto on because Soto's got like a fucking 460 on base percentage. Like you want him on with Judge up. Is this essentially the fucking idea?
Yeah. Because Soto can draw walks.
Every fucking dude, the guy has a fucking great
He
eye.
has his pitch selection. His eye is ridiculous, and I have a lot of respect for Juan Soto. He looks fucking horrible in pinstripes, just like fucking Marcus
he looks
Stroman.
so good, dude.
You know, I mean, as a season ticket holder for the
swimming.
Nats, he looks out of place outside anywhere but Washington.
Bro, he looks so good in pinstripes.
No, and I disagree. The reason, and I think to a point, I see what you're saying, but the reason that I disagree is that the Washington Nationals ownership does not deserve Juan Soto.
They don't.
No.
Just like they didn't deserve Zach Wheeler.
Scherzer.
They didn't deserve, Scherzer.
Bryce Harper.
They didn't deserve Harper.
Turner. Trey Turner.
Yeah, exactly.
I can keep going if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
The
problem with the teams down here, it's more prevalent with the Orioles than it is with the Nationals. But the Orioles went to I remember Mark Teixeira, and they did it to Mike Messina, and everyone blamed the Yankees for stealing Mike Messina. The Orioles were like, "Hey, man, you've been with us for a long time. How about a hometown discount? We'll give you like $40 million."
Yeah.
And Mike Messina was like, "Dude, like I was contending for a fucking Cy Young."
Yeah. How about take?
And the Yankees just offered me like $100 million. So
yeah, I know you worked really hard for it. But can you take like way less?
And that's the Orioles' MO.
Yeah.
That's the thing that bothers me about teams like the Nationals. You let so much talent walk out your door when you have all of the resources in front of you to not just be a contender, but to fucking own the post.
They didn't for a while, and here's why. I don't know if it was like if you guys knew how the TV rights work down here. I don't think it works like that anymore. But for a long time, the compromise to get a team in DC was that the Orioles would get 100% of the Nationals television money on Masson.
Because they didn't have their own fucking. They
didn't have their own network, and the only way you could get the Orioles to allow the Nationals back into the DC market was that the Nationals had to give their TV rights over to Baltimore. Now I think that's over.
Not enough Orioles fans.
Well, but here's the thing, and here's the other thing.
And they still won a World Series before Baltimore, so fuck Baltimore.
The other thing that frustrates me with that, if that's true,
it is true.
That's stupid. Because the Orioles live off of profit sharing the league's profit sharing most of the time anyway. They're one of the bottom feeders that sucks from the teat of the big spenders and doesn't do a fucking thing. So I don't know where the Orioles think they've got a leg to fucking stand on.
Because they owned that network.
Because Baltimore is a shitty city and they stand out as being some of the shittiest. Now, last season, they did have a solid year, and I will call that what it is. It was a great year, but like you've said, Ambrose, in our group chat, there's some video on those guys now, and I don't know.
You can't sneak up on people twice.
You can't. You can't.
Like high draft picks, too, because they were bad for so long. Like Adley Rushman is part of their farm system. Gunnar Henderson is part of their farm system. You know what I'm saying? Like Jackson Holiday, part of their farm system. Like, it's a fucking Kansas City Royals. It's the Kansas City Royals 10 years ago. It's what Baltimore is right now, and they're gonna give them all away. And like, dude, Tony, you and I have talked about this. I think that the other owners that actually care about baseball and are trying to make their teams good should kick the fucking dudes like the fucking Baltimore Orioles owners out of the fucking league and get dudes. There's plenty of fucking people who
give it a chance. He sold the team.
And when
the Angelos family sold the team.
Good.
Yeah.
But it needs to happen all over the league because these guys are holding on to this shit as a profit margin thing when they have fans that want to fucking win. And all it's doing is just driving these fans' heads into the ground because they want to make money off it.
Okay.
And Dan, you're onto something there because there's a history of the league doing that. Like when that old lady was going nuts in Cincinnati and talking about how the bad guys from World War II weren't so bad until they took things too far.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and
I remember that. Okay.
And finally, like the league was like, her name was Marge Schott.
Yep.
And the league was finally like, that's nice, Marge. But you know what? Here's an ice cream. Why don't you go feed the ducks at the pond?
You guys to go.
We'll take care of things over here.
You guys to go. You guys to go.
It's and I want to get on a rant really quick because I haven't had a chance to talk about this yet. And then we're going to talk about Josh Donaldson retiring. But Sam Kennedy, the president of operations for the Boston Red Sox, he looks like what you expect a public defender looks like that works in an urban.
Like in Law and Order.
Yeah.
They're all disheveled.
Yeah, he looks like a disheveled Law and Order public defender attorney. Said that the Boston Red Sox are not a large market team. They're a break-even team.
That's fucking sad, dude.
And here's the thing.
What's the rationale? That's a large Boston's a large market. They got money.
No, Sam Kennedy's full of shit because the numbers are fucking public. Yeah. You can go and see the money that they're taking in, the TV revenue. You can see every fucking dime.
They don't have it, do they?
But they got like 6 states supporting them.
They have a huge budget. They take in over it's over $500 million a year.
Like, you got like the richest state in the union in Connecticut supporting you. How are you not making money?
And this is the thing that pisses me off because you have the ownership in John Henry, who has his head so far up his ass, he can fucking lick his own asshole.
If he spits, it's coming out of my mouth.
If John Henry spits, it's leaking out of his mouth. That's how far his head is up his ass. He's so focused on what Fenway Sports Group, the ownership group, is doing, which owns multiple fucking sports teams, including is it Manchester United or Arsenal over in the European Soccer League? I want to say it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal, Man City. He owns one of those teams.
Spread too thin.
He's John Henry is spread too thin, and you have the Red Sox who will be reducing payroll again this year. Who, if they can manage to sign Montgomery like my prediction, they will actually be able to contend because you're going to see Baltimore backslide. And I'm also, now that I've watched some of the footage of the Jays playing, the Jays are not going to run the division this year. I think, and this is going to make, I think
I want to hear you say it.
I think Dan and Ambrose are going to be very happy to hear me say this. Honestly, I think right now the division belongs to New York.
The only thing that worries me is, let me sip your tears. Let me sip.
Wow.
This is filled with your shame, Tony.
I have to say that my dick just right back up into my body as I had to say those fucking words. It caused.
Now you know how I feel when I was talking about LeBron.
We're not talking about Bruce.
Hey, you guys made me very happy. I'm going to leave here as a happy. Knowing that I'm right is my favorite thing.
It's absolutely frustrating when you have one of the top 5 grossing MLB teams revenue wise in the league complaining, saying that they are a break-even team. Now, I will say, to Fenway Sports Group credit, they have dropped a large amount of investments in the area surrounding Fenway Park to improve the area.
Okay,
and I will call that out and respect it. They didn't have to. They could have just taken the profits, continued to not invest in the roster, and told everybody to go fuck themselves.
Can I also say that is a monster that they created?
Yeah.
Because when I go to Camden Yards down here, I remember one time I was sitting next to a couple of Red Sox fans, and they were there with their kids, and it was cheaper for them to get a flight down to Baltimore, book a hotel, and buy tickets to Camden Yards than it was to just buy the tickets to Fenway Park.
It is Fenway.
So they did that to themselves.
Yeah. Fenway has some of the most expensive ticket prices and cost in the stadium. I believe it was out of because they rank every year, like how favorable it is for a family of 4 to go to a baseball game in every park. And Boston is always one of the most expensive. It's like Boston.
Because even the Yankees, those lower bowl seats are obviously unaffordable, but you have the bleachers and you have the upper deck, and you can go to a game.
One of the biggest issues with going to a game at Fenway on an inexpensive cost, and I because of what I do with insurance and working on a national level, I get fortunate enough to talk to people in Massachusetts and in the area that actually go to games at Fenway. And one of the things that I hear most consistently from the fans, and this isn't anything else, this is from the fans, is if you go to a game at Fenway, the cheapest tickets are also the dumbest tickets you can buy. And that's the tickets that are out in the outfield bleachers, because everybody that's out there is the epitome of the negative stereotype of a Boston fan.
Yeah, it's just like Yankee Stadium.
It's if you are an away team fan and you go sit out there, you will not make it to the first inning. Because they will be throwing shit at you. They will be trying to fight you. You will not make it through the first inning.
I remember one time I was sitting in the bleachers in Yankee Stadium, and this was shortly after they banned beer because the fights were so bad. They banned beer at the old Yankee Stadium. They banned beer in the bleachers.
Really?
And,
I didn't know that.
And we're sitting there, and the people in like the real sections next to the bleachers, because it was like, oh, you could not go to the other parts of the stadium. You were in the bleachers. You were confined. And they were all like, we have beer. We're all having a good time over here with beer. And the TV picked it up. Like the whole bleacher section started chanting, "We have weed. We have weed. We have weed."
Awesome.
Sounds like something potheads would say.
Oh my god.
Also, Tony, Fenway looks like it got built by a fucking dude building his son a treehouse. That's the most expensive place to see a game at. The place is going to fall apart.
It's so disrespectful for you to say something like that.
Fenway is the oldest stadium in the league, and
is it older than Wrigley?
Baseball.
Oh, yeah, Wrigley's 14, Fenway's 12.
Yeah,
I got it, dude, and I don't. That's the one stadium I don't think will ever ever be rebuilt as Fenway just because of Green Monster.
I don't know. They said that about Comiskey.
They used to say that about Comiskey. And here's the thing. I think that Fenway will get rebuilt, but they will be more successful in doing with it what they tried to do with the Yankees Stadium when that finally gets rebuilt, or when that got rebuilt. Right. When Fenway gets rebuilt, they will rebuild it it will be pretty much the same stadium. It will just be more updated. You will still have the Green Monster. It will still be probably the same number of seats because they're greedy motherfuckers. It's not going to be like
that with the Yankees. The Yankees still have the facade of Monument Park. They got all that.
The problem with the Yankee Stadium was that they dropped like 20,000 seats when they built the new stadium. Like it was something insane.
The angle in the outfield stands too. We talked about this. The angle in the outfield stands, like real weird. So like if somebody stands up in front of you, you can't fucking see shit. Like it's really like this. They're not arced enough, so it's like it's all flat. They tried to like shove a bunch of stands in the outfield, and they're all flat and shit. So like if anybody's taller than you in front of you, you like can't see past their head basically. Like,
I've only been to one game at Yankee Stadium. I didn't have that problem because I obviously didn't sit in that section.
Yeah. All right. What other news you got, Seven?
And then the last thing here before we wrap up tonight, after a 13-year Major League Baseball career, Josh Donaldson has retired. Former American League MVP, spent some time.
Cokehead Hall of Fame.
Definitely Cokehead.
I know A's and Blue Jays for sure.
Finished his career with 279 home runs, 1,310 hits.
Did that while doing steroids and meth at the same time. Imagine that. Seriously, that's
David
a real
Boston shit.
And his best season 2015 with the Jays, 41 dingers, drove in 123 runs while scoring a league high 122 runs.
You mean with the Rangers?
No, Jays with Toronto.
No, he wants you to say the Rangers.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
You're thinking of Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, I am. That's my bad. Sorry, Josh Donaldson did not do that. Just roids.
Charter member of the Cokehead Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we did roids.
Hold on.
He's retiring based on what I just talking with other fans and people that I know that work in and around the league. His injuries became a problem tail end of his career, and it's when the roids wear off.
Yeah, you turn into a fat, useless piece of shit. Is what you do.
You crumble real easily, unfortunately.
Dude, he faked an injury. He faked an injury last year in fucking New York, dude. At the beginning of the year, that was I swear to God, dude. Go watch the video. He's running to first base and he pulls a hammy after first base, and he's out for 8 months. Pulls a hammy. Nothing happened. They did our MRI on and everything. There was nothing wrong with him. He just didn't play the rest of the year because he was so bad and he knew it. And he faked a fucking injury. Clearly. The clearest I've ever seen it happen.
He was still under contract, and I was going to say, you guys can confirm this. He's still under contract with New York.
Yeah, they're still paying him.
I was going to say, he was still okay. That's what I thought.
I mean, it kind of got weird with him when he had what's the guy's name on the White Sox? Where he kept calling him Jackie, and
Tim Anderson.
Yeah, yes. He kept calling him Jackie, and there was like a fight.
Yeah.
And after that, it never was quite the same. It was kind of like, we can't let this guy go because we're paying him a lot of money, but we also kind of don't want to start him.
Yeah.
Which surprises me that New York would flock from that, because you guys are pretty professional at keeping your lineup stacked with complete assholes. But
absolutely.
No, it's
Aaron Judge kills people.
I mean,
he's too nice. He's too nice.
He eats at least one baby a week. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I mean, if babies are better than steroids,
they definitely are.
He's on
Ask Jennifer Aniston.
Stem cell research is what he's doing.
Ask Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd.
He has Christopher Reeve's legs.
Damn, that's wrong. Oh my God.
He's Superman, bro.
But yeah, respect him for the things that he was able to do. I'm going to close with this.
Yes.
Why isn't Dan on the Yankees?
Just asshole. Asshole. You said they stack their lineup with assholes. I get it.
Yeah. Why isn't Dan on the Yankees? Because he's too much of an asshole. They don't want to get shown up.
Plus, I can't hit the curveball.
I mean,
or the fastball, or
any of them, because I'd be like, yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, Billy Martin was my idol. I'd just be a manager and manage like him.
So I'm going to close with this. Ambrose, I'll give it to you first. Is Josh Donaldson ever going to be a Hall of Famer?
With those stats? Like, is this a serious question? I mean,
they're gonna toss it around. And
279 home runs and 1,000 hits.
Every baseball show tomorrow that didn't ask it today will say
they're gonna do it tomorrow.
Is Josh Donaldson a Hall of Famer?
No.
I think he's Hall of fairly to really
Josh
good.
Donaldson gets in the Hall of Fame, Don Mattingly should sue the Baseball Writers Association of America.
Come on. Any baseball fan knows that the Hall of Fame today is a fucking joke. And it doesn't matter.
So
There's no consistency with their fucking enforcement of their stupid fucking rules.
The fact that they'll toss around, they're going to toss around Josh Donaldson more than they tossed around Barry Bonds and all of his eligibility is a fucking egregious fact that we should probably look at and go, that's a joke. That's a fucking joke.
It is a joke. I will have until the two things that have to happen before I will have any respect for Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Shoeless Joe actually gets into Hall of Fame. That's first. Until that,
I don't think he even has 10,000 at bats, though. I don't think he meets the criteria. You have to have like 10,000 at bats.
But here's the thing: if Shoeless Joe isn't screwed out of a career after being falsely implicated in the Chicago White Sox cheating scandal or point shaving scandal, Shoeless Joe has a Hall of Fame career. That man's career was destroyed by false accusations and a headhunting first commissioner.
And if Shannon Sharp doesn't break his neck, he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, you can't go on what ifs. Sterling Sharp, I mean, yeah.
No, but that's the thing. That's the thing. There's a difference between injury and how horrible the league was with handling the point shaving scandal of the Chicago Black Sox.
Conspiracy.
Okay, wait, real quick. Josh Donaldson stats. A 261 batting average. Very stellar, sir. Very stellar. 816 RBIs. That's almost 820. You're almost at the mark, bud. 279 home runs. That's like a fifth of what Barry Bonds hit.
Okay. He's not in the Hall of Fame. He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Barry Bonds had a fifth about a season.
Should be. The other thing that has to happen is that you have to put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. You cannot tell the story of baseball between 1990
and Clemens
and 2005 without Barry Bonds and Roger fucking Clemens.
The only person banned that I fully agree that should remain banned is Pete Rose.
Pete Rose deserves to get his flowers for what he did as a hitter, but not until after he dies because he's too much.
No, because honestly, everyone talks about how great Pete Rose was. Pete Rose did not take into account how badly he was disrespecting the game when he was doing what he does. And there's some integrity there. And he should not be in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry. He deserves to be as a player, but he should not be admitted. He should not get a plaque. All those other guys played by the rules.
Pete Rose should not get in with it while he's alive.
Also, guys, Joe Jackson played without shoes on. All right. That's fucking impressive. Okay.
Yeah, it is, man. Have you ever
the guy didn't have fucking
no shoes?
Like no cleats? Fucking unbelievable. How do you even stay in the batter's box? All right. Fucking crazy.
Oh my goodness.
The guy didn't wear fucking shoes.
But what was I going to say?
He was like Ambrose all week.
It's just not going to happen.
Like Ambrose all last week. Just not wearing shoes. Like just walking the earth.
Son, I'm out on injury. I'm out on injury, man. I ain't got to wear shoes, baby. I ain't got to leave my house.
Ambrose, it's hard to break into that apartment.
Ambrose is the Josh Donaldson of podcasting. He's out on injury.
All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and wrap this puppy up. I want to say thank you to all you guys rolling through tonight. We do appreciate you. Thank you to everybody out there in the TV realm. Thank you for coming through on the chat. We appreciate you. If you guys don't have anything else, 7, you got to say it.
Fuck you, Rob Manfred.
There you go.
Fuck Rob Manfred.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, suck it, Rob Manfred.
There you go.
Yeah, suck it, Rob Manfred.
Did all of it without shoes on, bro. Did all of it without shoes on. Like, that's fucking impressive. Like, how's he still?
He didn't really do that all without shoes on, right?
We are out of here, y'all. We're gonna let y'all.
His name was Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Same back channel, same back time, same back channel. We're out of here, guys.
The guy didn't have shoes on. He was stealing bases in the middle.
Oh, you're doing
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And Josh Hamilton did a lot of meth. A lot. Banging meth and banging
for the
steroids.
FCC cuss us off.
Josh